are over halfway through the year at this point, so I figured it was time to share my top 5 horror movies of the year so far. In honorable mention, I'm gonna put The Ugly Stepsister and Hard Eyes. I think The Ugly Stepsister had some really gross body horror that I really appreciated, and Hard Eyes was just a very fun, silly ride. I'm gonna get controversial already and say my number 5 pick would be Presence. Obviously, this is not a classically horror film, but I do think it makes for a very fun paranormal family drama. I think that the narrative at the center of this film is really well done. It's beautiful, it's sad, I cried in theaters, and if it's getting that big of an emotional reaction from me, I think it's worthy of putting in my top 5. My number 3 and my number 4 could switch up depending on the day, so for today, I'm gonna say Bring Her Back is my number 4. I put Bring Her Back in number 4 because I thought this movie was very scary and disturbing. There were moments where I really didn't want to look at the screen, I really needed to look away, and I think that this movie is a very satisfying treat for horror fans. My number 3, however, is Together. I'm putting it above Bring Her Back simply because it's something that I'm more interested in rewatching, and that's mainly because of the tone and the comedy that's mixed in. I thought was really successful for me personally. I also found that the story at the center of Together is really personal to me, as I've been with my partner for 10 years, so I often think about, how codependent I may not be at certain points of our relationship. Again, I think my number 2 placement might also be controversial, but in number 2, I am going to put 28 Years Later. This movie really got me in all of my feels. I know that some points of the script might feel messy to people. I know it wasn't what people expected, but ultimately I think it is a really interesting coming of age story, and it has some really interesting themes, specifically when it comes to war. It was also super inventive and creative. It did things that I haven't seen in film before, and I really value a film that's experimental and is trying new things. And in first place, you didn't think I would skip Sinners, would you? Sinners is absolutely my favorite movie of the year, period, regardless of genre. I think this movie is really doing everything that we could have asked for. I think it's very creative in the vampire storytelling and how it's using that as a way to discuss theft of culture. I also think that the acting is great. The music in this movie is incredible. The cinematography is also beautiful. There's really nothing in this movie that I don't love wholeheartedly. I'm actually about to go watch it now, so peace out. Let me know what you think I got right and what you think I got wrong. And check out our podcast for full reviews of all of these movies.